Right, today's video is going to be a bit different. Before I did the electrics on the E36 and I didn't run through what the car is, the project and what the whole plan of it is. So today I'm going to explain it all, explain about the engine, explain what I'm doing because it was an automatic, changing it to a manual, and I'll do all that in this video, so yeah, enjoy. Also in this video I'll be going through how much it's all costed so far, and if it's worth putting in all this effort to do the engine swap, and yeah, so enjoy the video. So this is an M52 B28. Now, if anyone is to do one of these builds, I really advise you don't get the TU because it's a double Vanos, which is good because it has more torque, but it's just harder to work on, it's harder to get into E36s, and I didn't get told this, but it is a lot of hassle and the parts and stuff. I mean, some people might think otherwise, but for your first build, I'd say it's probably not the most ideal engine to be working on, because once you built it all and it's all together, you end up finding little things like that on the floor, which is what you don't want to be seeing when your engine's all back together. Not good. This is actually a stock Z3 engine from 1999, and all I've done to it is resprayed it, put new gaskets on it, just little things like put a metal thermostat on it. Plastic thermostats apparently crack a lot. So what I've got left to do now is change a couple of these pipes because they got cut when the engine got taken off the old Z3, and then put the gearbox in, put the front back on, then radiator back on, do a little service on it, so new spark plugs, oil, and then the engine should be ready to go back in. Anyway, so there's a bit about the engine. Hope it didn't bore you too much. So the E36. I actually got this off Facebook Marketplace. I was scanning, so I wanted a classic car, and this come across, which was very lucky. So he said this originally was his project, and he was going to put an M52 engine in it, but he never got around to doing it. He said he fell out of love with it, and he didn't have the motivation to do it. I had a BMW 5 Series, 2006, and I traded it, it worked fine, and I traded it for a lad in Peterborough for this E36. And I would like this to be a drift car, or a show car, I don't know yet, but I'm hoping it'll be a drift car. This is going to be the car I'm going to learn to drift in. So yeah, we'll see how it all goes. Right, ignore the inside, but originally this car was an automatic. Doggies! And I'm changing it to a manual, which I'm doing at the same time as changing the engine, which is a bad idea because now I've got the gearbox on the floor and the engine going at the same time, which I've never done either of them before, but it will be very interesting because so far I've got the manual pedals in, I've got the automatic transmission out, and it's all stripped at the moment, so that's ready for the manual gearbox all to go in. Which it actually isn't that hard. The only reason it's hard at the moment is because I've got everything piled up all in one bit. If the engine was already in and I was doing a manual swap, it would be absolutely lovely, but it's not. So yeah, if you do end up doing one of these projects, I wouldn't go for the first engine bay you see, and if they don't have certain things, don't start ripping out pipes and thinking I don't need it because they don't have it, because everyone does their builds different, so they might have things that you might not need, aircon, certain pipes, ABS, they might delete it, so yeah, just be careful. So if you do end up coming across an E36 and you end up doing one of these builds, the main thing I struggled with was figuring out what parts can actually stay in the bay and what parts need to be taken out for the new engine. So there's stuff like these bits, these can be taken off. There's some more bits, they can be taken off as well. That can be taken off. So one thing that confused me most was the 2.8, which this is a 2.81, and the 1.8 one. So the 1.81 had 2 extra pipes coming out of it, which went to the ABS, which is really strange because I don't understand why there would be more pipes coming out on a 1.8 rather than a 2.8 having less pipes. I mean, I'm no mechanic, but I would have thought that the bigger the engine, the more complex and the more pipes will be everywhere. But obviously not. But yeah, I found that quite confusing because it's just, you don't know what needs to come out and what can stay when you're doing the build. And you can look at other cars and look at other E36s and look on YouTube videos, but nothing seems to show you the exact things that you need in your bay. So like drift, I've been looking at Instagram pages of people, and I've been looking at this drifter guy, and he has certain pipes and he has certain things that aren't his. But I can't really follow his because I want to daily this, and yes, I do want it to be a drifter, but I don't really want to have it as a pure drifter. I want to be able to daily it as well at the same time, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's about it for the bay. So how much did it cost? So we have 1,120 was the engine and gearbox. Then we had the 650, that was for the rolling shell of the car, so the car with no engine. But it did come with the automatic gearbox, but all of that's been taken out anyway, so probably make a little bit of money on scrapping the gearboxes and stuff or selling them. Next we have 140. That was for the radiator and some bits off that. So the radiator, a couple pipes, and then I had to go spend £232, which was an order from BMW, which was some bolts for the engine, bolts for the gearbox to fit onto the engine, gear shifter. Right, then there was a couple eBay orders, so £32 for the thermostat. Then there was fuel lines and stuff like that, that was another 35. What else do we have? Then another £35, and that was for all the electrics, so what I did in the last video, so the X20, the X60004 and stuff like that. So in total that has costed £2,244, and that's everything completely. So would I recommend this build? For an M52 TU, I would probably not recommend it if it's your first build. If you've done a couple builds on these, I'd say you would probably fly through it and it wouldn't be too much of a problem. And for £2,244, I'm pretty sure you could probably find some BMW E36s out there that are manual and not too high miles that would sell for about £3,000, £4,000 in good nick. But the thing is, it has. So that would be completely up to you if you wanted to spend that bit of extra money and have a car that's already there built and you can go drive off. Or you can spend a little bit less and hopefully manage to build yourself your E36. So yeah, that is about it for today's video. Right, I think that is about everything. If there's anything you think I've missed or not been over, just put it in the comments and I'll try to go over it all. Obviously, it's not the most interesting thing at the moment because the car's not running, but when the car's running, I'll be posting more videos, probably doing a couple drone footage videos out on the roads. Wouldn't mind doing some drift videos or learning how to drift videos. They're normally more interesting because I'll probably crash. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and leave any comments if you've got any questions. Thank you.